Okay, we are going live. Okay, guys. So, welcome. First of all, welcome to Deep Tech Movers Chatbot Challenge. As you've known, my name is Christian. With me also is Arnold, and with also Rina from SG Innovate, who will be sharing some opportunities soon. So maybe like just to recap, or just not to recap, just to introduce a bit about Deep Tech Movers Challenge. So this is a challenge that we partner very closely with SG Innovate, and the challenge actually is for you guys to learn chatbots and explore like how you can utilize chatbot to share your passion in deep tech as well. And this Deep Tech Movers Challenge is actually part of SG Innovate New Frontier 2021, a virtual showcase of deep tech apprenticeships, industry opportunities, career mentorships, and also workshops. So, and the theme of this Deep Tech, Chatbot Movers Challenge is actually Makers Movement. So we want to, I think the goal is for us to celebrate, right? A lot of talents who are not from what we expect, right? From non-programming like background, from biology, from psychology, from engineering, from other backgrounds that actually makes breakthrough innovations in deep tech as well. Because we also believe that deep tech is not really something that is very far off. It's actually something that is already happening, and this is where I think we see as a humanity, right? We take a leap in terms of making sure that we can actually transform the world to a better place. So yeah, so this challenge I think we is part of New Frontier 2021. If you are looking to explore more opportunities in these sectors in Singapore, I think this is you can actually join New Frontier 2021, which Rina will actually share. So without further ado, guys, so please like mute your. I request you to mute your microphone. You can switch on your camera, but please mute your mic. Without further ado, I will welcome Ms. Rina, an assistant director of SG Innovate, who will actually share with you about deep tech career opportunities in Singapore. So, Ms. Rina, please, can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'll be sharing my screen very shortly. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and thank you to Terra AI for having me here today as well. Um, I'm just going to quickly share my screen to share with you a little bit more of SG Innovate. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, it's good.
Let me just put it a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so SG Innovate is actually a private subsidiary of the Ministry of Finance, and we report directly to the National Research Foundation. Okay, someone needs to mute their mic, please. Okay, so our purpose and our mission, the world has very hard problems to solve and hard tech answers are needed. We help scientists, founders who want to solve hard problems, build companies. So what we actually do is we invest in startups in Singapore. We build your startup. If you have a good startup and you need help with it, we build it. But we have a talent networking team where I belong. Basically, what we do is really encourage young talents like yourself and even mid-career switchers to come into the deep tech foray, as well as we have a community team that does a lot of branding events. So a lot of these events online that you see is done by the comms team. Couple of the programs that I help market for is the Summation and the Infinity series, very relevant for students and fresh grads. I have a PowerX traineeship program, more for mid-career switchers who want to look into entering either robotics, cyber, or software development. We do a lot of training programs with our partners, as well as we have a talent marketplace, basically an open marketplace where we arrange a lot of events, networking sessions for young talents to meet with founders. Okay, so basically, what is the Summation program? The Summation program is an apprenticeship program that places students within high potential deep tech startups, allowing them to gain a real world experiences in areas like AI, blockchain, cyber, robotics, quantum, and computing. Reasons to why you should join us. we have very exciting projects in areas like I mentioned before. Our stipends start from $3,000 a month. And of course, you're going to be guided by professionals, either the CTO or the founders, people who want to make this venture of theirs grow. And this program is open to either local or overseas students, anywhere from, actually we started looking at diploma, so anywhere from diploma all the way to PhD level. Anyone with technical skills, so you need to have programming knowledge and deep tech knowledge, and someone with technical project experiences. Either you've joined a hackathon like this or you've done an internship. So don't be put away by me saying that we're looking for people with technical skills. We've had people with political science background, went on YouTube, learned learned a little bit about programming, and he joined the summation program as well. Now, we have about 50 over projects. I've just listed some of the interesting projects that students have worked on previously. Again, within any of these facets of technology, something very interesting and a team and a company that works with us quite a lot is the cybersecurity, right-hand cybersecurity company. So what they did was basically behavioral analysis for security information management. And there's very, very interesting projects. So I will tell you a little bit later on how you can find out more about the various other projects that will soon be open. The other series that we have, and it's quite new, is basically the Infinity series. We've only seen 2 runs. Second run is starting later part this year, very new. And it's an immersion program for you to work on very vital roles with technical teams. And you curate very meaningful development journey for them in areas such as software development, data analytics, product management, UI and UX. So basically the difference is summation is very, very technical. For Infinity, we're looking for those people who wants to do a little bit of mix of tech as well as business. So a good mix of these two. Why join us again? You get exposed to deep tech startups. Stipends start from 1,500 onwards. Students have to be based in Singapore, and it's open to Singaporean and Singaporean PR. The reason is because of funding, and we are looking for people with programming knowledge. Now, the difference between Summation and Infinity, for Summation is an international program. So before COVID, we had quite a number of students from Harvard, Berkeley, Cambridge joining us. However, because of COVID, now we're just looking at students in Singapore. And over 40 over projects that happen for the run 1, run 2, we are also looking at about 40 over projects. These are just some examples of the kind of roles that you would be working on as well. So for example, for software engineering, it's a company called Neurobit. You're basically uncovering sleep analysis through AI. I thought it's very interesting and relevant for you guys. And there are a couple of other projects that you can look at, and I will be sharing with you how you can do that. So some of the technology and factors just to show the difference between Summation program and the Infinity. So for the Infinity series, you will be working on these projects, but in these various different roles, really depending on where you want to grow your or rather be exposed to. And some example of portfolio companies. These are all the portfolio companies under SG Innovate, but in recent times, we have actually started looking at the ecosystem companies. So companies that are within deep tech, not under our portfolio, we are also looking to work with them. The program cycle coming up next would be in August, which would be the winter cycle. You will see that we will be sending out EDMs to your schools, and we would be trying to reach out to you guys in other ways. We'll be organizing talks in schools as well. Do come and join us. By then, the window will be open for invitation for you to apply as well. Once you start applying, for example, in August, the offer usually goes out in November. You can start off in December. The duration for these apprenticeships are anywhere between 3 to 6 months, really how long you can commit. Lastly, as mentioned by Christian, we are organizing New Frontier 2021. Basically, this is an exclusive showcase of all our programs that we have to offer, which would be what I just mentioned, Summation, Infinity, PowerX. You can find out all the different kinds of job opportunities. I think right now we have over 200 job opportunities that we will be showcasing on that day as well. It's a Saturday, so mark your calendars. On the left, you will just see some very interesting sharing sessions that we have also lined up for internships titled Connecting the Dots. It's really going to talk about whether should you be going for internships. If you are a comp science student, should you only be doing technical internships, or can you also do a marketing internship? What do you do? Do you just chalk up internships, or do you find yourself during this internship period? We also have a very interesting workshop on cryptocurrencies. And lastly, a debate: is formal education a prerequisite for deep tech career? Given that, companies like Google and Microsoft, they think that paper chase is not very important right now. It's really the experience. So join us for such interesting events that's going to be happening on 10 April. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so thank you so much, Rina, for sharing the opportunities. Maybe just to give you a note as well, based on our own experience. Um, so, Rina, maybe can you? Okay, that's great. Okay, so just to share from our experience as well. I mean, my personal experience, because right now I'm also working in Terra AI, right, as a tech, a deep tech startups, right. What separates, like, I think working in big companies compared to startup is that you have actually have a lot of room for career growth and learning opportunities. So meaning that, like, typically, right, when I mean when you join like big firms, when you join, like, typical, like, firms with thousands of employees, right, what happens is that they have a clear scope, and have clear scope, you join, and then there is, you typically will revolve around that scope as well. But with working with startups, right, you actually have a lot of flexibility in terms of growth and also career interests. So what we also like recommend, right? I think the journey of fresh grad is a journey of exploration. You learn a lot of concepts during the universities, but when you come in outside, right, this is why you explore whether this is a right career for you, whether this scope is the right scope for you, because this is where you see a lot of changes. And for to help you guide that, right, you need a mentor, and you need someone who are actually I mean, in terms of like self-interest, right, you need someone who are invested in you and who sees like the need actually to make you productive as well. And this is where I think deep tech founders and I mean, if you're working in a very, like, a close team, right, you get that mentorships a lot. So where we see a lot of students who are actually, like, graduated from our challenges and join SG Innovate summation program, right, actually, like, we when we talk to them, like, they are actually, like, exploring a lot of roles, not just on the data science part, but also on the robotics, on the installations part, on, bringing that I think it's called BX. It was I think, oh, Poly B. So she actually brought up lots of, like, interesting, like, doing a lot of interesting stuff from, like, even from not just from the technical part, but also on the marketing part as well. That you see the entire ecosystem of the tech. You see the entire, like, roles of, like, working in the deep tech startups. You see, like, how each roles actually intermingle with one another. So again, like, this is a very good opportunities, and as Innovate has listed like almost like 80 plus deep tech startups that are actually, like, open for hiring, right? So please, join the New Frontier 2021, I think. Yeah. So thank you so much, Lina, for sharing. So let me just go to the business, which is how the deep tech movers like. So let me just, like, okay, share my screen as well. Okay, so this is a Big Tech Movers Challenge from 22nd March and to 10th of April. I think before, just a short introduction about AI for impact, right? Our mission, our tagline is actually AI for non-programmers. So we help non-programmers learn and build AI applications in a very short time, so they know intrinsically, like, how AI works, and also have built some portfolio to apply for, like, deep tech opportunities. The second one is that we also, like, whenever we conduct challenges, hackathon, datatons, we always take reward challenges as part of the criteria, because what we don't want to see is that if you are learning, let's say, from online courses, they actually provide you some concepts, but learning how to apply those concepts and transform it into business value, right? That's actually what your employers are paying you for. So what we do is that if you want to explore deep like AI or deep tech as a career opportunities, you must know how to bring value to your employers. This is how they actually justify your salary, to be honest. And we want you to get a good progression of growth, like even at the early part, even before you actually graduate. And we also have a global AI community. We expanded actually a lot during COVID times when when we actually try to virtualize our programs, because now actually we've been working with NUS quite a lot for the past 2 years. And when we try to bring our programs virtual, right, there are lots of interest. So we have 3.5 thousand students at 10 countries with different problem sets, with different backgrounds. So I hope you guys actually learn from one another and understand, like how understand, like learn some knowledge from them who also like have different perspectives about AI and also deep tech as well. This is what our students say. Oh, I think I have not enabled the voice. Let me just please share the screen. Okay, so this is a student from SIM. She's actually winning a chatbot challenge.
Hello, I'm G. I'm currently studying data science and business analytics in SIM. Building chatbots seemed daunting to me at the start. However, Build a Bot has led me to think otherwise. The mentors broke down the steps into easily digestible content, which enabled beginners and people without programming backgrounds to build great chatbots. The first step is always the hardest to take, so don't be afraid to take the leap of faith. Celebrate little wins on the way and learn from your mistakes. Another advice is to learn with your friends. Learning with friends is always more fun and engaging.
Yep. So I think you can see, okay, you can see more like student success stories on our Instagram page, AI for Impact. But what we want to say is that okay, okay, what we want to let you know is that we've seen a lot of students that are coming from non-programming background actually being successful in terms of building AI career. So if you look at our Instagram page, actually we have also our students as well who joined our datathon, and then afterwards they use that datathon as a portfolio and get scholarship actually from one of Singapore defense research institutions as well. So I think what we believe is that, like, because AI is such new things, employers would want to see a signal of your success, and a signal of your success is not just like learning like technology A, B, C, because everyone is doing that. Everyone is doing the same thing. But what makes you special is that you actually like have experience in solving real world problems even before you graduate. Once you have that portfolio, right, then your career trajectory is going up. Like say, oh, when you apply for internships, oh, I know someone who you are already experienced in solving real world challenge. Okay, I will join that internship as well. Then you get a better, like better exciting roles that gives you more a stronger portfolio as well. So this is, I think, actually I cover a lot when it comes to. I'm quite passionate when it comes to building your career while still in university, or even like so building your career even as non-programmers, because AI is not just about programming. AI is about solving problems using data. And when the data is not there, build some system that actually capture data, which is what chatbot now actually is being very useful of. So to know more, you can look at our Instagram page, and just find out like some success story that students have. Just understand what they do. Maybe connect with them and arrange a cup of coffee to our students. Say, oh, how can you build your career? Because our students are actually quite all over, like I think most of them are Singapore, but we have increasingly a lot of students from Indonesia that builds a successful career in data science as well. Okay.
Hello, I'm G.
So what will you learn right during this Deep Tech Movers Chatbot Challenge? First, we focus on chatbot. Why is it important? Because right now, if you see, 97% of smartphone users actually interacted with a conversational platform like WhatsApp, Telegram on a daily basis. And what we do is that, like, if you look at it as well, there are a lots of like traffics going on in a conversational platform. The question is that how can we automate it? How can we capture enough data? How can we get insights? How can we use that data to create some kind of business outcome, right? So chatbot is a ways to automate millions of interactions in a so to break down like big content into a small bite-sized personalized content. And this has helped companies actually like save millions of dollars. And that also is being used by organization as well to share like their to share knowledge, to share like their missions. And at the end like get a lot of people come in to to help actually millions of people through using chatbot as automation. So one example that few examples that our students have built is a travel recommendation. I think we had a safe tourism challenge like last month. And what happened, what our students did is actually to promote local businesses, because they can't, the local businesses cannot get overseas tourists, right? So they use chatbot to advertise local businesses. So at the end, the domestic people, right, domestic citizens, right, actually spend like start buying coffee not from Starbucks but on their local businesses. So this is the first. The second one is HR automation. So this is where chatbot is being used to identify the best candidates. And yeah, and this has been used also like in Singapore as well, where we actually like work with Keppel like last year to help automate some of the HR processes as well using chatbots. Education is something that we are very passionate of, and what we see is that some of our students are actually using chatbots to start providing some kind of bite-sized education content. Like this way, this one is actually like chatbot to help people learn sign language, so they are more empathetic to when they interact with deaf communities basically. So these are some examples that our students have developed, and you will learn from start to end how to build and publish these kind of chatbots. So I think about the deep tech movers, right? What is it about? Why we decided to pick these challenges as well? The background is that I think we are quite lucky in Singapore. There are a lot of deep tech companies that offer exciting career opportunities if you want to make a lot of impact. There are certain limits right now when it comes to manual work. Like let's say there are only certain amount of doctors who can actually like identify cancers at certain point of time. So what deep tech can do is that deep tech enables that leap, that technological leap, so that people, right, human, can actually like help more people with a combination of human insights plus automation. So if you see like right now COVID as well, right? Like this is the fastest era where companies can actually build create new vaccines actually, and this is definitely with the help of AI to help diagnose like and help accelerate the experimentations on a large scale basis, so that you can get vaccines at the as early as possible. Cancer detection, I think you can look at one of the Innovate companies. They are actually dealing like use image detection to identify like early potential cancers. That is also built by deep tech companies as well. Credit card fraud preventions, or even let's say to have automated cost scheduling, that one is done by deep tech. So deep tech actually is very important for us to actually like get humanity, right, move on to the next level, and to help automate lots of work, so we get like very high low cost services at a high quality rate, combining automation and human. And we are lucky to be in Singapore because this is where the center hub of deep tech lies. But not just that, I think Singapore also produces many talented people with strong innovation DNA. And what's often misunderstood is that deep tech requires someone with programming experience. Yes, on a certain roles, but deep tech also it needs someone who are also like very strong in certain domain. If you want to apply deep tech in healthcare, like these companies need someone who knows certain background in terms of like healthcare, in terms of like how medicine works, right? If you are looking to apply deep tech in sustainability or in energy, you need to be, you need to learn the engineering aspect of like, how you create energy as in the first place, right? If you need deep tech to uh, to create to be applied in maritime sectors, you need to know you need to have domain expertise in maritime. So what I'm talking about is that, we don't just have like, we just don't just need someone who can do programming. We actually need a broad base of talents. But unfortunately, like, I mean, many people see deep tech as people see AI as well. AI equals to programming. Deep tech equals to programming. That's not the case. Like, even in our company as well, we don't hire someone from CS actually. We hire broad base of talents. Um, our data scientists, chief data scientists are from physics. I myself are from engineering as well. So we need that talent, but we need to bring as many talent as possible to see that, like, hey, deep tech actually there are multiple roles that you can get involved to promote deep tech as well, because there are a lot of exciting career opportunities. We don't want to limit that. We don't want to let people say, oh, I can't do it even before they apply. It's not healthy for both, like, demand and supply from both companies and talents. We want to open up opportunities, right, so that more people are confident that they can actually produce some kind of value and apply and join the deep tech community as well in Singapore. Yeah, these are students like who are actually use AI to predict dengue, and the winners actually are from not someone from programming background, actually someone with life science background. Yeah, and I think as Rina has said, New Frontier provides you some kind of opportunities to know more about deep techs, to get mingle with the deep tech companies as well, and to secure internship or career opportunities. 200 jobs. So these are actually sizable, and you can tell from that is that the deep tech industry is growing. So it's actually a good time for you to get into like this career, because it has a very exciting future, promising future, so to say. So how can we help, right? What is the, so you see the challenge about deep tech ecosystems. We need more talents, and the companies itself has a lot of exciting, like, deep tech uh, projects that actually save lives. So how can we get involved? We as deep tech movers are in between. So our roles right now is that to showcase to a lot of people is that deep tech is not something that is far away. It's something that is actually something that is already happening, and it has a lot of exciting opportunities from the career perspective, or even from someone who wants to explore into deep technology. The first challenge is how to, right? So I know, like, some of you, I think, like to imagine stuff, like to imagine, like, new possibilities, right? So let's spark that creativity as well. So what you can do is that create a guide chatbot that teaches people how to create DIY products with deep tech. Just give you an example, right? For example, something that is often overlooked but actually very useful. One, toilet, right? Like if you're traveling in East Coast Park and all that, you see a lot of toilets. I think Singapore actually more or less most of the toilet is well maintained, but if we come in, the toilet is dirty, right? Then you don't want to. Sometimes it actually creates a lot of hassle. So how can you use like machine vision, right, and also like IoT, right, to just like imagine like assembling like these kind of technical like product together to create, for example, sanitary, like, level detection, for example. So when the sanitary level say, this toilet is dirty, it can call off, like, the cleaners nearby, and then, like, start cleaning it. So that is one innovation. Or maybe the more exciting one, so let's not talk about toilet. why why is Christian talking about toilet? Okay, another one, like, for example, is robotics, right? Let's say you want to deliver, like, food from one place to another. How can you combine machine vision and robotics, right, to so that you can create a small like bot assist a small assistance, right, a small like unmanned vehicle assistant that can deliver food from one place to another. This is just to spark imaginations. Like, you don't have to really know how to build it from scratch, but it shows people that, Actually, if you combine multiple deep tech technology like robotics, machine vision, AI, you can actually come up with something interesting. And yeah, that's actually very important to so people know that, you know, oh, deep tech actually is something that is more fun to build. The second one is discovery. We don't have to go far. You just go to as Innovate. You just go to the list of startups. Most of them, most of the startups actually are doing something that has a social impact. Let's say to automate, to have early cancer detections, to analyze like, you know, potential tumors and all that sorts, right? But these companies are, because they are focusing on tech, right? I mean, they might not be they might be unseen by general populations as well. They didn't know that, you know, these companies are actually working behind the scene to help us normal people, right? To actually like, you know, have a better life. And what we can do is to help to promote these companies, right? We want to get as many people supporting them, not just from the talent point of view, but to even endorse them, right? Feature them in I mean, just get them introduced to other people as well. So your chatbot is actually your build a chatbot to help people discover exciting deep tech projects or companies that improve lives. These projects come from a company, or that comes from, let's say, some researchers or some, like, you know, hobbies, right, who just want to make social impact. So there are lots of like deep tech projects out there, and what you can do is that to just like, you know, get people more aware about like possibilities of deep tech in terms of life changing lives of people. And just I think for us as well as a fellow like passionate technologists, to just give them some kind of recognition, to get more people recognized about what they do, so they don't just work behind the scene. They actually get recognized, and maybe down the line they can actually get some kind of investors, or some like, you know, early clients. They are willing to you know, try something new with these companies. The third one is reimagine. So as you know, deep tech is seen as something that is far away for many people. We want to reimagine, right? What is the possible applications, the possible products that people have not thought about yet, and that can be used using deep tech? Like what I told you, what I told you, right? Like let's say sanitary detection, for example. Like no one thinks about it. It's actually necessary, but this is something that people have not thought of before. Maybe another one, most of you are, let's say, like studying, like you are from life science, economics, psychology, engineering, chemical engineering, electrical engineering. You come from different backgrounds, right? And for sure, you know, like certain applications that you can see, that you can imagine, right? That can be solved, you know, that can be made more automated, they can be made faster using deep tech. So what you can do is that this is where you can imagine. It's okay if the product is not there yet, but we want to showcase, right? We communicate to people that, you know, if you just like spend your time like, you know, combining, let's say, IoT with AI, you can actually create a product that you know, help detect, for example, that help prevent flood, for example, right? Because you can actually use IoT and AI to detect when the water level is going up, to prevent flood, to make our island a cleaner place by just using, you know, combining robotics and machine vision as well, to forecast potential failures, failures of a solar panel. So that is actually already existing, but not many people thought about like the potential of deep tech to save operational costs in solar panel. If solar panel fails, you don't get the water heating, for example, right?
Hey,
So that,
gmail.com.
okay. So these are the three ideas that we want you to think about. And this is where chatbots can shine in a way that it can actually helps people communicate, like break down a complex subject like deep tech, or seemingly complex subject like deep tech into something that is fun and digestible. So why we bring this topic? Because this is where you can actually apply chatbot design thinking, where you can practice that in real world. So in product design, not just chatbot design, to be honest, there are 4 stages. First is when you need to convince to your users that they need to be aware, right? So Awareness is where you need to convince your users, not to convince, to get your user aware of what is deep tech, so they know at least like whether it's something that is exciting or not. The second step is considerations. They aware what is deep tech. Why is deep tech important? So this is where you need to spend your time on explaining, right? What are the applications of deep tech, and then why is it important for society? Because if they are aware, it doesn't mean that they will join in right away. They will participate in deep tech right away. You need to give them some kind of considerations. Moving on to the next step is evaluation. Is deep tech the best choice for me? Because let's say if you're talking about users, right? Even when you are trying to sell shoes, right? You get them, invite them into the shoe store, and then they will actually give you some kind of options, and then the staff, right, will actually tell you, right, oh, why why is these shoes the best, why you should buy the shoes right now. So this is where people start to evaluate, and people will actually think about like whether they should join or not. So evaluation is where you see that when people start thinking that is deep tech the best choice for me in terms of career, or in terms of, let's say, knowing to know, even knowing to know more. So this is the third step. The fourth one is action. So when you build chatbots, I think it's very important for you to create some kind of action map. It's not just for someone to maybe like to idle around and to look at your chatbots just yet, but you need to create an action. So there is a follow-up plan where your chatbots can drive traffic to certain events, where your chatbot can actually also like help people like explore career opportunities as well. And actually this is where, to be honest, like where companies will pay for your chatbot. If you are actually once you are graduating, so it's good for you to start exercising the action plan as well, to think in these four steps, so that your chatbot not just raise awareness of deep tech, but to help them do action plan that is relevant to what they are already interested in, which is deep tech. I want to explore deep tech, what's next? So in our case, like there is an exciting opportunity, which is New Frontier 2021. This is where like a lot of like students, a lot of like professionals can understand in more details, or even interact with deep tech founders to know more about deep tech. So our role actually is simple: create the chatbots that raise awareness using your own understanding about deep tech, but down the line, gear them towards like New Frontier 2021, because this is where your users, right, can learn in more details from the professionals, right, what is an exciting deep tech opportunities. So these are the process that I want you guys to think about, because this is an experience of building chatbots in real world. Okay, so I hope you understand. If you have any question, I think we can just discuss it after the session. I mean, after the presentations. So, what is the program outline? So, this is where I want you to pay attention very carefully. So, this challenge is not just about actually challenge as well. It's really about learning. It's about learning journey. So, there are 4 learning journey that you guys will encounter: learning, building, contest, and finale. First is actually where you are at right now. You are actually learning chatbots concepts at self-paced with mentorship on Telegram group. So by now you should have received access to training videos. You also like you if some is you also must be able to, you must have already like get access to sign up on yourself to our chatbot uni platform that contains learning videos, that contains chatbot templates, that contains also like masterclass video as well, where we teach you about chatbot design thinking in more detail. And your task, right, from now until 28th of March is to build your first chatbot. Because what we do is that this is a hands-on learning, basically. And we don't want you to, let's say, we don't want you to just like learn the concept and then without applying it. We want to understand how much you are progressing in your learning progress. And but how we analyze that is actually by looking at your first chatbot that you will submit this Sunday. So what we'll do is that after Sunday, right, you actually like we'll analyze all your chatbots, and we'll have a live sessions on Tuesday, where we give feedback on your chatbot learning progress, and to also showcase all the submissions, so that we can learn from each other what is the missing key from what you've built so far. So by 28th of March, you need to submit any chatbots, whether it's your own pet project, passion project, or whether it's for deep tech movers as well. The second one is build. So this is where the next stage as well, right? So after you learn the concepts and you submit your first chatbot, we'll give you some comments, and this is where you start building chatbots as deep tech movers. So what you do is that you actually build chatbots either yourself or as a team. Why as a team? Because I know that you guys are also juggling with another commitment, and the only way to learn more productively and to make sure that you also can come up with something that is that you're very proud of is actually to work with a team. So ideally, I think a team of 3 to 5. But if you don't have team yet, I think we'll set up a matchmaking group so you can actually meet other people who are also trying to work together. But we really encourage you to work as a team. And what you need to do is that by 4th of April, create a deep tech chatbots that circles around the 3 ideas that we discussed previously. So you submit your deep tech chatbots, and this is where another exciting things happening, which is during contests. So this is quite interesting. I think this concept is, I think, quite new. But what we want to do is that the objective of this contest, right, is for you to learn from your users. Because for us as startups, right, I think rule 101 is actually to learn from your users, actually. So what we want to do is that during your build stage, you will publish deep tech chatbots. And we want to keep the topic similar. So because what we want to do is that we will actually broadcast your chatbots to a lot of people within AI for Impact circles, even with SG Innovate circles as well, where users or experts, right, can actually look at your chatbots and then give some comments. And what we do is that you will publish your chatbots, and there are 2 criteria right now. First is that you need, because we want to select the best chatbot to present during the finale, right? First, we will select chatbots with the highest user engagement. So let's say there are 190 of you who are participating, and out of that, we'll select the top 15 chatbots with the highest user engagement. Why user engagement first? Because to be honest, this contest, I mean, when you build chatbot as well, it's about how you are able to actually build chatbot that your users like. So that's the first phase. Out of 15 chatbots, oh, okay, out of the chatbots that is deployed on contest, we will select the top 15. But out of the top 15, this is where the experts come in and gives our own evaluation as well. So at the end of the 9th of April, our expert will start evaluating your chatbots. There are 5 criteria. I'll let you know later on the next slide. But out of 15, we'll select the top 5, which the experts think that is technically has some kind of fulfills the technical evaluation criteria. And out of that, 5 teams will be selected for the finale session. So during the finale is where you have a lot of opportunities to pitch yourself in front of a lot of experts. I think I share with you the judges that we have. It's very exciting, and they might be looking for, actually they are looking for talents to join their companies as well. So the top 5 teams will present their chatbots during SG Innovate New Frontier 2021. The stage is set. The experts are already excited. Now it's your turn to actually present your chatbots to them. So what you will do is that during the finale, you will actually create a presentation and present your chatbots for 5 minutes and showcase to them why your chatbot actually is the best, because they are looking for talents. So the winning participants will receive a cash prize, top 1, top 2, top 3, and certificate of excellence as well during the finale session. So I hope you are clear. I'll share with you the slides after this. So if you have any question, you can just also post on Telegram. So let's talk about winning criteria. What makes chatbot good, essentially, right? Because this is important also as a learning process as well, to know what will industry appreciates. So there are 2 criteria right now. First is the user engagement during contest, right? This is measured during contest from 5th to 9th of April. So what will you do is that you publish your chatbot on a leaderboard. We create a leaderboard. We get as many users as possible to interact with your bot, and then from there we assess the measurement as well. We measure the engagement as well. So the first criteria is the number of interactions, because I mean this is rule of thumb. The more users like interact with the more the higher the number of interactions that the user have in your chatbot, that means that your chatbot is engaging. And this is what actually like a lot of companies are looking for, because what happens is that number one, they can get analyze more data. Number two, the users can actually get access more content that you are trying to explore to your users as well. So number of interaction is very important. The second one is number of unique users, right? Does your user recommend your chatbots to someone else? That some kind of an objective criteria that actually measures the how engaged your chatbots are, and how exciting your chatbots are to your other users as well. Can you convert your users become your evangelists as well? That is actually um this is actually a problem statement that actually startups already have. How can they convert their users into evangelists? And I want you to have that experience right now during the chatbot challenge. And number three is a conversion rate. So a conversion rate means that, like, okay, you give some contents, you provide some exciting contents, right? How much of your users actually are converted into an action that you want to promote? So in this case, we try to standardize the action, the call to actions. And the call to action is the number of people exploring New Frontier 2021. Because the team right now is deep tech movers, and we as deep tech movers, right, are trying to get people more knowledgeable in deep tech and explore opportunities. We fortunately have a window, like basically not an action, a reason. I mean, a platform, right, where your users can explore more about deep tech, which is New Frontier. So what we do is that the number of traffic directed to New Frontier 2021 is part of the criteria. But of course, the more important one is the number of interactions and the number of unique users you have. But not just that, I think we also have a technical evaluations. And these are 5 criteria. First is usefulness. That means like like does your chatbot can your chatbot recognize user intent and answer the questions accurately? So when your user asks like what is deep tech, don't show them like career opportunities. That is not right? So that is the usefulness. Second one is engaging. Can you retain your users' interest? That one is evaluated by the experts. So we have the objective criteria, which is number of views, number of comments, but we also have our own a qualitative evaluation as well through technical evaluation. The third one is design, the UI and visual design of your chatbot. How navigatable is it? The fourth one is informative. Does your chatbot share something that your users don't know? Because that actually is a criteria of success as well. If users say, oh, I don't know about this, I learned something new, this is where your chatbots actually are more likely to be shared to other people as well. And the fifth one is the pitch. I mean, how able are you to present your ideas in a clear and interesting manner? So this is very important as well. And just to let you know as well, like user engagement is measured for contests to shortlist the finalists. But from finalists onwards, right, from shortlisting from 15 to 5 and to determine the winner, is purely based on technical evaluation. So this is how we actually just assess and filter, like make sure that like the one who win this competition are the one that has excellent chatbot, not just from the user engagement but also from the technical standpoint. I'll share with this to you after the session. And we have exciting judges right now. So from head of startup ecosystems from AWS, we have Ku as well, a co-founder of AI Association Singapore, and also Data Science SG. Kester, which is a chatbot company, co-founder of chatbot company AI Chat, and also from social impact standpoint, David Boy, Beta.sg. So we have a diverse judges who can evaluate a chatbot not just from the technical point of view, but also from the impact point of view. So from us, just to let you know, this is not a programming contest. This is not a technical contest. This is a contest, a product contest, where we will reward someone who built something, build a product or build chatbot that creates impact. So don't aim for complexity. In fact, for chatbot, actually simple is better. But what you need to aim is that how much, to what extent can your chatbot create social impact? In this case, to make deep tech more, to promote deep tech or to make deep tech actually more accessible, or some concept that is more easily digestible to people, to normal people. So these are the criteria as well. And how to win? First, join the Telegram group. I think right now we still have like half of you guys are still not joined the Telegram group yet. So please make sure that your friends are joining the Telegram group, because we have two group. One is for technical mentorship, and one is for admin details. So if you win, don't miss it. So don't miss the admin details. It's number one. Number two, ask a lot of questions. Number two, watch all training videos more than once. The reason is because the training videos are short. We designed it to be short so you can learn anytime. But the training videos are actually full of concepts. You need to digest that one more than once, to be honest. And when you are building the chatbots, feel free to switch back and then to rewatch the videos again, because you might miss some kind of important concepts and how you can apply it to your chatbot. Ask questions. Ask questions. We are here to help. The Telegram group is there for you to get connected with our AI experts. So don't miss that opportunities. Not many courses give you access to mentors which have a lot of experience. So please like ask questions, like don't, everyone here is to learn, and a lot of our chatbot community are also beginners. If you ask questions, you are actually helping them to cover some areas which is not explored yet. If you are very shy, you can also use your search button to look on previously answered questions as well. Fourth one, be proactive. If you want to promote deep tech, as much as possible, you want to talk to deep tech companies, or you even want to talk as Innovate at the start. Be very proactive, understand the pain points or that the deep tech companies have, understand the pain points that the students have. If you want to get students on board into deep tech ecosystems, right? What makes them not what makes them fearful or not willing to, not keen to join deep tech ecosystem at the start? What is their what is their biggest concern about joining deep tech? Because again, if you want to build products, talk to your users. And the earlier you did talk to your users, the better your chatbot will be, because your chatbot addresses someone's pain points. And of course, learn and work in groups. That's very important. Prices, this is covered. So as Innovate has actually provided exciting prizes for you guys. 1,000 Singapore dollars for the first winner, second winner 500, third winner 250. Not bad. It's pretty good actually. So I think do your best, and if you get $1,000, I think you can do a lot of things as well. But not just that, I think there are also another intangible rewards that you can get. On the certificate point of view, there are two certificates. First is certificate of completion. So if you are submitting your chatbots as during the before the contest, of course not just any chatbot, but a deep tech chatbots, right? You actually get a certificate of completion. So it's given on you can submit as a team or an individual. But we also have a certificate excellence, which can be used for you to where we endorse the best team to get some kind of internship with the companies later on. So certificate of excellence is more premium, and this is given to selected finalists at the judges' discretions. Last time during our Safe Tourism Challenge, we have actually like 6 teams awarded certificate of excellence. So for us, like the number of teams who are eligible for certificate of excellence, it doesn't matter. But as long as you do well, we want to endorse you guys. So what our students use is that they use that cert, right, as a portfolio when they are actually interviewing with other companies. And certificate of excellence is like for us, a way for us to kind of endorse you that, okay, these students or this team has done good work not just completing a chatbot, but have done good work in making sure that the chatbot is industry standard. So these are the certificate point of views. Of course, from then onwards, like as Innovate also are arranging an exclusive networking session post New Frontier, where you can actually like chat directly with the deep tech founders as well. So that one will be given by as Innovate. We will share with you later on. So I've prepared a to-do checklist. So this one, I think you can read it on your own. But this is just to make sure that everyone don't miss any process during the process, during the challenge process, during this 3-week period as well. So we are here to help. You can join our community as well. So we are here to actually like help you learn and build AI applications, whether like it's during the detect movers or after detect movers. If you need help to even from the to build your career in AI, you can join our community right now. So yeah, I think that's all from my side. Maybe it's time for us to address questions.
Chris, there were some questions on the sign up process and so on, and where to get the videos and whatnot, right? Let me just, if you just, let me just share my screen here, just show
Yes.
you what you need to do, right? So the first step is just open your browser and go to chatbot.university, right? So, and there will be a link there. You can see it. It's called sign up. So you click on sign up, send your details, you'll get an OTP password and so on, right? And then that will then give you an account, create an account. So if you already have an account, then no problem. All you need to do is just to sign in. Okay, so I'm signing in as Arnold, for example. Okay, now on the first time when you sign in, this key will be in gray, and you got to key in your username and password, right? And say okay, and then that will sign you in. So this is the IDE that you will use for all your work, and the labs and everything else are here. Click on that, you get the labs. So you need to download this one here, right? Chatbots for everyone. Okay, don't download this one. Download this one, and go to the videos in English, and all the videos are all here. Okay, so you need to start with session 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, that's about it. Simple.
Any other questions, guys? Okay. Any questions? All right. So I think just a quick note as well. I think learning is just part of the process, but sometimes like you want to know how to deploy that. Okay, what is the Telegram group name? It's actually there are two Telegram groups. If you are on, so I suggest like if you guys have not signed up, if you are already signed up on Eventbrite, you actually should get a confirmation email to do that. To join the Telegram group. Maybe I'll just share with you here. Just give me a while.
Yeah, someone wants the link as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, any other questions that we can answer for you?
So we have two links.
Yeah.
Yes. One is for admin matters for the competitions. The second one is about technical mentorship. So this is where you can join our global community as well, and basically like ask questions as well. If you are too shy to ask questions, which we kind of like discourage actually, you can also use search button on Telegram group, and then you can just like search the keywords, because many of our students have actually.
Website, it is chatbot. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Which one? Which one is the? Is it the competition one or technical?
Okay, and you go to sign in, right? Someone says that the invite link is expired. Which invite link are you talking about? You mentioned the invite link is expired. Can you check that?
Both.
Okay. So for both the Telegram group and the other one, the links are expired. So we'll update it
Okay.
for you and
Yes,
we'll
yes.
post it.
We'll update it to, for you. We check this out. But please, like if you are not you have not registered on Eventbrite, right? Please register now. We still actually we still open up the registration as well, because this is how we communicate with you through email. But later on, to just make the communication easy, right? We will actually communicate more on Telegram rather than on email. Yeah.
Okay. The other part that is, I think you need to describe a little more, I feel, Chris, is the learning in groups. You want to talk about that as well?
Okay, so learning in group is very important. Like I can't emphasize further. So not just for this competition, to be honest, like for other competition as well, or even other like hackathon, datathon, or workshops, right? Whenever you want to actually learn, because 3 weeks actually is quite short for you to I mean to build good chat. Not so much in terms of building chatbots. Building chatbot is okay, but learning how to build great chatbots, I think that one takes like group effort. So what we want to emphasize is that, like, whenever you learn something, right, try to get at least 3 person, right, learn together with you, consume the same training materials, build the same chatbot as well. So what you do is what it does is that you will actually um, someone who are smarter will actually like help cover someone who are also more busy. Not everyone actually smart, but people have different schedule as well. So if you learn in groups, like each of you can actually cover one another as well. So you can split the work, and someone else maybe, oh, I want to build a chatbot that handles the greetings. I want to build a chatbot that that curates the right content. Oh, I want to build chatbot not so much about the building side, but on the designing the chatbot workflow. So if you are actually have a specific task, right, and then you can come up like every maybe twice per week to consolidate your effort, you can actually learn much faster. So this is what we see in our competitions, right? We train 3,000 student plus, and the best teams, the one that always winning, the top three are always the one that working in a team, and ideally 3 to 5. Yeah.
Okay, there are a couple of questions here. Let me just answer them one by one. So Pratik asked, for the selection criteria, number of users is one way for evaluation. What is the other way? Okay, so actually we will be using a number of different things to actually select the chatbots, right? So the first criteria is that you have to submit. Your group has got to submit a chatbot, and your group has to consists of anywhere between 3 to 5 people. If there's extraordinary circumstances that force you, maybe your group members leave halfway through and so on, let us know. We are quite flexible on that, right? But ideally, we're looking for groups of 3 to 5 because we find that actually makes the whole thing easier for you as well, right? So there will be also a matchmaking group as well, Chris.
Yes.
We'll put out a matchmaking group. So if, let's say, you're a single person coming in, only one team member, yourself, then we'll actually we'll ask you or request you to form to go into the matchmaking group where you can actually meet other people who are looking for members, or maybe you can actually call them into your team if you have a good idea, right? Um, so once you submit the chatbot, and that is, I think, around the 4th of April. Is that right, Chris?
Yes, 4th of April.
Yes. So on the 4th of April, we'll issue you with a link as well. It's like a Google form. You fill in all your details, team member names, etc., and so on, and your chatbot URL. There's only one submission per group, okay? And then we will take that, and then we will put those up on a leaderboard. And your task then is to share that with your friends and so on, okay? So we want to see usage on the chatbots, and we will also publicize also the usage statistics, how many people are interacting with your bot, etc., and so on. So you get an understanding of how the quality of interactions with your chatbot. And that also gives us an idea of how useful your chatbot is as well. If people like it, most people will use it. They might want to share it as well, right? So typically, if there's a lot of submissions, then we will shortlist based on number of interactions. If there are fewer number of submissions, then we might consider more or to expand. Let's say, for example, we see that there are many good chatbots out there, maybe some which are less popular, but they're high quality, okay, then we will actually include those in the finalist link as well. So the criteria that we use internally for the shortlisting, we'll shortlist about, I think, anywhere from about 8 to 10, depending on the number of quality boards that we have, right? We will use basically a criteria like, the quality of boards, the UI, right? How informative it is, how useful it is. And we will release those details to you guys closer towards the date, or perhaps even probably earlier as well. So you have a clear idea of what kind of metrics we judge them on. Okay. So then once the shortlisted 8 to 10 boards go on forward, then we have the finalist stage where we will expose you to the finalist judges. Okay.
Yes.
Now, prior to the 4th of April, there's actually, in fact, by the end of early next week, we will have also, you're supposed to submit also maybe a first draft of your chatbot. And that's where you can actually get feedback from us directly. So myself, Chris, and Samuel will be giving feedback on your bots, where it can be improved and so on, right? And, take that advice or not, and, improve your work, right, for the 4th of April. Okay, so I hope that gives you a clear idea of where we're headed towards when it comes to selection. Now, there are a few more questions from Isaac. For the grouping, let's say I have a group of 3, will my group still be matchmake to people who are by themselves? Well, that's up to you. Okay, we'll open up the matchmaking group. If you've got a group of 3, for example, and if you think that's enough, then don't join the matchmaking group. If you find that you need more members, then by all means, avail yourself of the opportunity and call someone in. For the selection criteria number, okay, let us partake. Sorry, want to clarify, where could I ask the technical question when I encounter difficulties? That's by Erickson. And the answer, Erickson, is that you should ask it ideally on the, we're having ourselves problem with Google Groups. So the Google Groups have changed their format and permissions and everything else, and we ourselves have issues posting the questions. So we can see your questions. When we try to post the answer, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work. So what you do is you join the technical group. Okay, there are 2 groups. Remember, one for the announcements for this competition specifically, and there's also a technical group as well. Please post your questions on the technical group, and we almost answer it immediately. Okay, so you need the links for those 2 groups, right? For the announcements and for the technical ones. Unfortunately, it seems the link is expired. We weren't aware of that. I'm so sorry. So Chris will reissue the links.
Yes.
Through email, all right? Or if you can do it right now, Chris, that'll be fantastic. Then everyone gets a nice link. And then we'll post it maybe on an image at the end of this, so anyone watching the video can join as well. Can we do that, Chris?
Yes. The thing is that I can't share it on using a laptop, so I need to share it over.
You can do a
mobile.
QR code and maybe just post it on this thing.
No, the link is advisable. Is actually you can only generate through a mobile phone.
Oh,
so just give me a moment, guys. I'll
Meanwhile, any other questions you have, we can answer for you.
Hi. Can I just check, is this a competition only for fresh grads or students that are still in school?
Oh no, it's for anyone based in Singapore.
So anybody who's interested in that, and they are Singaporean, they can take part in this?
Absolutely. There's, I think, JC, or you're in a uni, or you're in a school, or okay, the limits don't come from us. I think the criteria come from Innovate. Okay.
Yes.
So okay. So it's a great question. We'll just triple check with this.
So okay. So the competition is open to anyone in Singapore, and the reason being because the new frontier, right, is actually because of the COVID issue. They can only hire someone from Singapore. So this competition is open to anyone. I think not just for the purpose of it's not just for the purpose of hiring. It's also for the purpose of building awareness. So the competition is open to anyone in Singapore, regardless of nationalities.
Singapore citizen or Singapore resident or Singapore.
No. All nationalities in Singapore.
All nationalities, yes. Okay.
Yes.
And any age limits, Chris?
No age limit. No age limit.
That's comforting, because I have an interest. I don't plan to move into an industry, but I just thought this whole competition is interesting.
Oh yeah, by all means, just join them.
All right.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
Sorry, I'm just interested. Why pick Smojo for this competition? Like, why that language?
Well, that's because it started off with us. We were using it internally ourselves. So actually, all of this stuff happened because we were invited by university, NUS, to come and give them a competition. And so we had a lot of problems with, what is it called? Ourselves teaching our own weather forecaster. So we run actually a weather forecast company. Terra AI is a division of Terra Weather, right? And we've had these, we have a lot of older people who unfortunately know only one language, Fortran, and it's not the best language for data processing. And so we tried to actually teach them internally Python and Ruby and stuff like that. Nothing stuck. And so as a hobby, I was at that time developing a language for my 6-year-old, trying to teach her to program, right? And so I thought, maybe we can use this 6-year-old programming language meant for 6-year-olds, basically, to teach adults who are maybe non-programmers, right? So what I did was I glued up that language for my girl into the backend systems of the company, and it worked very well. Actually, it worked well for things like big data processing and so on. So actually, Smojo is used actually internally by Terra Weather for big data processing and for AI for the weather forecasting parts, right? And the advantage was that we could actually, we had already some existing code base for data processing, and it just fit into the workflow. Plus, we could actually teach these non-programmers to program, right? So that actually went into a competition, and it grew from there. And we've had many requests from non-programmers who want to come in and say, look, I don't want to spend like 9 months learning Python or let's say JavaScript and so on, some other language, right? Can I also learn to get myself into the AI bandwagon? And what we found out was that, what we've always believed is that AI is not dominated by programmers.
Let me just.
So it's not just for programmers; it's actually for non-programmers. So Smojo allows us to mask a lot of the programming parts of it. So it is easy to learn. I mean, we don't even teach you the programming language at all. You just come and just use the tool. So you should see it really as a simple scripting tool. It is not a programming competition, as Chris says. It is primarily a design competition, right? So don't coming into this thing saying, oh, I'm going to learn programming. I'm going to learn how to do this from that aspects. No, it's not. What it is primarily, it's primarily a design competition. Okay, so you're coming in to look at a task that someone has. In this case, as you innovate, they want you to look at 3 different things, which is to create awareness for the makerspace, to create product discovery. In other words, a certain tool or a certain approach. How do you actually give them this thing? And the third one, of course, is the how-tos, right? So that's much more deeper as well, right? So you can choose any one of these 3 tracks that you want to do within the makerspace thing. So it's a design problem. If we had added, let's say, programming from scratch, like using Python and so on, just way too long. This competition would last like 6 months rather than 3 months.
I think
perhaps, a lot of people can't join.
Yeah,
see?
we tried previously, like sharing like. I mean, we tried like keep providing like AI competitions using Python. Very simple, not actually forecasting. There's a simpler one such as like trying to just correlate correlate data from one data sets to another data sets, and we teach them like the first part actually Python. Within like 2 hours or 3 hours, actually we have a lot of people actually leaving the the lecture because it's too hard for them. So what we do is that, okay, don't like right now if you are very newbie in programming, don't learn the tool first. Learn the concepts, and as much as possible, the concept should be tied with a problem statement. That's why I think for other competitions, I think if you take a look, we actually bring up a very exciting data like dengue, like other like energy forecasting. even actually like wind energy data for energy trading, financial trading as well. So the data is dirty. If they want to, if students without programming background want to access the data and build solutions, right? It takes at least maybe like 6 to 9 months. But if you simplify the programming and you can learn on concepts, right, from data engineering to modeling to deployment, right, you learn the concept first. Then down the line, whether you want to use Smojo or not, at least you know how to Google, you know how to compartmentalize like different concepts together. So this is why we see a lot of our students are quite successful even on a short term, because actually if you remove the programming and focus the learning on concepts and problem solving, right, that makes a huge deal, especially in the terms of confidence. Something that you make you like ace well in the interview is the confidence part. So this is what we how why we design it such way. Yeah.
Okay, so I think there are a few more questions here. They're coming in. I hope that answers your question, David.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
thank you very much. Thank you.
okay. So Lisa asked the questions: will everyone who takes part in the competition receive the certificate of completion? Chris?
The question is that if you submit basically if you submit a chatbot, a deep tech chatbot. So what we will do is that you can't just like, because to publish is very easy. So to publish chatbot is not that difficult. So, but what you have to do is that as long as you complete the task of deep tech challenge, meaning that we see that, oh, your chatbot actually is I think is passable enough to actually to compete on deep tech challenge. So yes, there is a completion certificate of completion, but it's not just giving for someone who participate, but someone who complete the challenge. Yeah.
Okay, so I hope that answers that question, Lisa. Isaac Tay asked this question: may I also confirm that the criteria is based on number of users from New Frontier, which may
No.
also mean that the chatbot is more adult situation skewed. I don't think that's correct.
No.
Like building a chatbot that is solving issues for adults would be more favorable because most of those users that you release to will be of an older age. So I think that
No.
might be a misunderstanding there. So Chris, why don't you clarify that?
Okay, I think there's an assumption, and I think you misunderstand something as well. The first one is that the chatbot traffic can come from anyone, whether it comes from our contacts, or whether it's Innovate contacts or your contacts as well. But also, so that means that, like, it's actually an aggregate overall like engagement that your chatbots actually generate. So it's not, it comes from multiple traffic. That's number one. Number two, don't assume that those who come in and SG Innovate are all old adults, because the SG Innovate and New Frontier is about showcase of virtual detect opportunities and career. I mean, don't underestimate the traffic comes from university students and also even for students in general. We are Gen Zs, or even like people below me, right? They're all like not Internet Explorer as a brand, but Internet Explorer as a role itself. They explore a lot of things. They will want to participate. So you don't focus so much on the target audience. Create your own target audience, because like, if you are select one target audience. If you want to promote DTech to university students, select that. If you want to promote DTech to adults, select that. Because the conversion rate will not come in if you are creating a general chatbot, so to say. So there is no, I think there's no skewing. Most of audience comes from your own target audience as well. It's also like, exercise how you also able to market the chatbot as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what Chris is saying is that it's we don't measure the conversion rate. That's different. We measure the number of views that's coming in on one side, right? And plus the within the context of the competition itself, you're quite free to target any kind of audience that you want. Okay, so we don't actually. Of course, one of the aims of your chatbot should be trying to convert them to actually join the new horizons, but we don't really track that. That's something that is tracked on the SG Innovate side, but it's not used for us.
It's not the big chunk of the user engagement metrics.
Yeah, the main one is really the views coming in. Plus, it's only used as a short list, gauge for a short list. And if we find there are other interesting chatbots which are with the lower view, we would definitely include that as a part of the consideration.
On technical evaluation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Lisa's question says, can I use other software to come up with a chatbot?
In this case, I think because we have actually put a leaderboard, right, in this measurement criteria. So unfortunately, you can't. Although you can promote SG Innovate chatbots on different software, but from this one, because we build things from start to end. So we built including the leaderboard as well. So it's actually tied to the chatbot uni. But having said that, you can extend another, like let's say if you want to build data processing, if you want to have additional like and integration, right? You can do that. So let's say I want to collect the data, right? I want to link up to, let's say, a Python layer that includes that connects it to a CSV kind of format. That one you can. So you can use tools which are you're comfortable, but I think for this competition, because this is a deep tech movers competition as well, not just learning. We need you to use chatbot uni platform to measure the leaderboard. But outside competitions, you can.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, the other part is to make the competition a fair one. So if everyone comes in on the same basis, then at least we have a similar basis for.
oh yes, 90% of our participants are beginners.
Yeah.
So we want to make equal footing for everyone as well.
Okay, so the last question was, sorry, could I check if there's a specific topic that we have to work on for the chatbot? Yes, there is a specific topic. It has been discussed. We've actually broadcast this live. You can always, we'll give you the link at the end of this, and you can have a look. Okay.
Yeah. The topic is deep tech.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other last questions before we close up for the day?
Hello. May I have one question?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to ask: do I need to be in physical in Singapore to be able to qualify to be part of competition?
I think as long as you have a residency or a student pass or something like that, that should be fine.
Yes.
Okay. So
In Singapore, right?
Yes, in Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
got
if
it.
you're a student in Singapore with a Singapore institution, or let's say you got a work permit here in Singapore and employment pass, or you're a citizen or anything else, you can actually join the competition. And otherwise, again, this is not imposed by us; it's imposed by SG Innovate, because this is a part of their criteria.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to be. But we also run other competitions, Cervantes, and those things are for anyone, anywhere.
I see. If I'm right now a student at university in the US, so I'm not qualified, right? But I'm thinking about to move to Singapore if I can be kind of graduate and stable like my job there. So
yeah, that one I think you can. But from our side, I think our for learning purposes, for the learning sake, I think there is no criteria. But from competition sake, it's actually handled by SG Innovate. But maybe if you think that you might actually spend a career in Singapore down the line, I think you can just join and also post a note to SG Innovate as well, so they know that okay, I'm interested in participating, and I consider actually like building career in Singapore down the line. So that one is SG Innovate. It's not us. But to learn, I think anyone is welcome. Yeah.
sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Spren asked a question. Just to be clear, we need to build a chatbot that focuses on getting people into tech, right? I don't think that's the correct understanding. So let me just clarify a bit more so that we are all on the same page. Okay. Something called deep tech. The movers. What is it called?
Makers movement and deep tech.
Makers movement. Sorry, makers movement. Yes. Okay. So you need to know what that is. Okay. It's like people doing things like maybe assembling their own robotics, or maybe doing things like by themselves, right? People who create stuff in the tech space as a hobbyist, as a passion project. It's very popular. Do a search, and there are many layers to that. There are projects, there is hardware, there could be chemistry involved, there could be some programming involved, right? A lot of them do involve programming, because you need programming basically to glue all these different things together. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to look at these different projects, select one which you think is interesting for yourself, and then either do one of three things. The first one is to create awareness. So like right now, maybe some of you are not aware about the makerspace. Okay. So the idea is that for your chatbot to create awareness about what this space is all about, what it does, and how it benefits, etc. I think Chris has described that in the earlier part of this talk. Okay. The second track that you can take is the discovery track. In other words, you want to give people a deeper insight into what's available right now, right? What are the online projects that are available right now? Okay, so hopefully the idea is that they can be introduced into these different technologies, different tracks, and so on, and maybe participate, or maybe download, or maybe try it for themselves. Okay, so that's discovery. And the third track is the how-to track. That's a deep dive into one, or perhaps, reasonably just one of these projects, so that, maybe teaching people how to assemble a 3D printer for themselves. Okay. Or doing something like, how do you take a drone, load it up so that you can fly in a certain direction, or maybe pre-program flight path. That's another one. Okay. There are many of these kinds of projects out there to do all kinds of things. Okay. So the how-to section is a deep dive, okay, and your chatbot is supposed to help people around to actually navigate that deep dive, right? Because it can be confusing or a bit difficult, right? So these are the three tracks that you need to have. Now, on top of that, you need to also publicize the SE Innovate, what is it called again, Chris?
New Frontier 2021.
The New Frontier 2020, which is basically a kind of a convention that's going to happen sometime
in April.
In April, right?
10 of April, yeah.
Yeah. So they want that event also publicized as well, and having a little thing about, you can actually come and join this thing for yourself. It's free, right? It's a free event.
It's a free event.
It's a free event. It's open up to anyone here in Singapore, and you can just invite them to join and to sign up if they are interested, because that's where they can get to meet people who are like-minded. So if someone is really interested in this kind of a maker a movement, then a convention, a high-quality one, is a wonderful place to start, where they can meet like-minded people, and they would be people from all ages and all walks of life here in Singapore. So, Skren, I hope that answers your question clearly.
Yeah. And I think from the persuasive standpoint as well, to just add up, getting people into tech doesn't mean that you have to just say, oh, come in. You can also start by building awareness, sharing your ideas. So that is where we have 4 stages, right? But even if you want to focus on awareness, that kind of sort of giving, like introducing tech or a makers movement and deep tech in a way that will lead to people coming in, right? So sharing your idea, sharing your passion itself is already so-called more than quite enough to be part of the competition criteria as well. So building awareness is part of it. Sharing your idea, sharing your passion, or even sharing your own personal understanding on what deep tech is about. I don't see deep tech as something that is far away. I see deep tech as maybe like using data to convert it into insights, for example. Depending your own understanding, having the kind of opinion as well, I think is good enough. So this is, I think, ultimately, or even from SE Innovate, right? Although they want their events to be publicized, I think ultimately what we want is that we want to give you guys opportunity to learn, and they are into some kind of sponsoring, or even by partnering with opportunities with initiatives that enables other people to learn something new and express their creativity lah. So
can we have a look at the links now, please?
Yes. I already shared actually on the. Let me just.
Maybe put it up here on a.
I can't, because I can't share screen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Let me.
So what we'll do is we'll post it up on the YouTube video as well, so you can have a look at it.
Yes, on the YouTube.
Okay. If there are no any last questions, we'll call it a day.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in to the launch. We are looking forward to your chatbot. I think the important part, again, focus on expressing your ideas first. Like getting people into New Frontier is just for you to exercise like how you convert chatbot into something that is productive. It's just like a design thinking kind of challenge. But the main idea is for you to learn, to express your creativity, and then have fun. Don't force don't force yourself to promote something that you are not comfortable with. But yeah, and join the New Frontier as well, because this is also opportunity for you to explore the deep tech in more in depth.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day,
Okay.
guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.